Well, that hurt. That one really hurt. And against Carlton too. I mean, of all teams you hate to lose to, for me, they are the number one and we lost. G'day everyone. Welcome to the Tigers of Old. So we lost last night to Carlton. I think it was 75-71. 4 points was the margin in the end. We were pretty poor in the first half. Skills weren't great. Intent wasn't really there. And that allowed Carlton just to break the game open. They won it at the source and then they were able to move it into space and we weren't able to slow them down as they ran the ball forward. And that seems to be a bit of a pattern. If you look at pre-season, that's what happened to us against Essendon and it's what happened against Melbourne. And I think what we're really trying to do is come up with a game plan where we take control and we move the ball. The problem is at the moment, we're just not capable of winning enough of our own ball. And then once it gets into space, we're not capable of turning the ball over. So whether that be through intent or a lack of speed that we have in the midfield, whether it's system or smarts, we're just not capable of winning that ball back until it gets quite deep into defence. And then what we're really relying on is either a 50-50 contest in the attackers forward 50 or we're looking for a turnover. If the ball is used smartly through the middle and into the forward line, we're not really capable of stopping it. And that's not a knock on our defenders. It's more a knock on what looks to me to be a bit of system up forward where we're just not winning the ball at the source and then we're not spreading like the opposition does to stop them from going forward. We might be spreading the other way. So we look at the game last night. Let's focus on the positives. Boulder was great. 9 intercepts, which is absolutely brilliant from him. 550 metres gained. Used the ball pretty well, looked really strong, looked really good in 50-50 contests, didn't lose too many. I liked what he did down there. I've been supportive of him playing ruck with Nenk and going forward and helping our forward line. I think him and Lynch and one of the youngs down there would be pretty good, but he did hold our back line together last night. If it had been Miller and Gibcus, the score line would have been a little bit worse at halftime, it's fair to say. Banks, Short and Grull running out of the back line looked really, really good. Short, 29 disposals, 85% efficiency, 750 metres gained, really good long goal. I thought he played really well and showed why his experience down there is really, really relied upon. I thought Banks was pretty good down there as well, 25 disposals, 96% efficiency, ran the ball out pretty well, made some pretty good decisions. And of course, Grull on debut, 19 disposals, his efficiency was pretty good and I love the way he takes it on. He's going to be a great player for us for many years to come. So really pleased with the way they ran out of the backline. Couple of interesting things in the backline. Gibcus, probably not his best game. Again, I think we're going to persist with him. If you heard Uze talk before the game, he talked about this is our setup for the next 4 weeks and then we'll review it after that. That tells me that he's going to get a run. Look, he wasn't our best defender last night. It was interesting because Broad ended up being our second most rested player for the night. Gray got most minutes, I think at 32 minutes. Broad was the second least used player. And I think that's because we chucked minutes into Gibcus. I would have preferred Broad out there. I thought he was pretty good. Maybe he copped a knock. Maybe he wasn't quite right. Some of his disposal wasn't brilliant, but to have his head out there does help. And it would have been good to see him out there a little bit more. I thought both wingers had fairly underwhelming nights. I thought McAuliffe was probably the best of the two. I think he had 16 touches. His efficiency was pretty good. Ralph Smith with the new hairdo, 11 disposals. Again, good efficiency. Both of them led our stats on inside 50s with 6 each. And then I think it was Taranto and maybe Lawler that got 5 each, which shows they're working both ways. Saw them both in defence and in attack. And McAuliffe, to be honest, was quite a few clearances and seemed to be running with players at different parts during the night. He was matching up a bit on Cripps here and there, and as was Lawler, which was interesting. So good to see them play those roles. I worry for McAuliffe. I just hope that he gets a couple more opportunities to go and get that 25 or 30 disposal game that he needs just to give him the confidence. 16 touches is not enough from him. And on the other wing, Ralph Smith didn't do enough for mine either, although I've got a feeling if they take a pick of the two, it'll be Ralph Smith that they stick with, just because he runs a little harder, even though he gets less of the ball. He does run back and forward really, really well. Ross was pretty good in the midfield. He had 7 tackles. His intent was really good. He helped to clamp down a little bit in the second half on some of their midfielders. I think he got 23 or 25 touches. My problem with Jack Ross is that he doesn't always take the best option. He's not a bad disposer of the ball, but he doesn't always look to hit up a target. He does tend to rush his disposal a little bit, and you can find that he'll either miss-kick it to a lead or he'll just bomb it long. And if he can just take a little bit more time and use that ball really well going inside 50, he's going to be a really damaging midfielder for us. I thought Lawler was really good when ball was in hand, and even when it wasn't, I thought he chased well, he harassed well, he laid 4 tackles. He only had 16 touches. It felt like he had more than that. A couple of really good goals. When he's got the ball, then good things happen. And he used the ball more by foot last night than by hand, which I was really pleased with. What I'd like to see him do is get that possession count from 20 to 25 and then beyond. If he can get to 25 disposals average, then he's going to be extremely damaging for us because everything he does works out really well. His efficiency was great. He brings others into the play. He makes the right decisions, and he's a leader. You can just feel the charismatic presence he has on the ground. I really like what he brings to the table. The whole him or Jaeger Smith, don't worry about that. Jaeger Smith's an accumulator. He's nothing like Nick Dacos yet. He might be down the track, but he gets the ball and kicks it 25, 30 metres. We saw with his shot on goal from 40 metres out, he couldn't make the distance. I think we've taken the right one. In fact, I'm pretty sure we've taken the right one, and time will be the test of that. I thought Mansell and Green were pretty good up front. Mansell would have been one that if he had played in the reserves, I wouldn't have minded too much, but as it turns out, he led in the forward line really well. He chased, he tackled, he harassed, he led up the field, he won the ball, he won his own ball, he kicked a couple of goals. He looked really good. And Steely Green the same. They both applied pressure. They both won their own ball, and they both had an impact. Morris is the one that probably didn't do enough. He chased, he harassed, he tackled. I think he laid 5 tackles, which was up there with our highest, but he only had 6 disposals. If he's not going to impact the scoreboard and he's only going to get it 6 times and not really bring the ball inside 50 or create scoring opportunities, then he's going to struggle to hold his position in the team. I was hoping to see him a bit more up the ground and around the ball. He may have been there, but it didn't look like he was. He wasn't getting involved. So 6 disposals from a fair chunk of minutes on field as well. Let's hope he does a little bit better next week if he gets that opportunity. Tom Lynch, how would I describe Tom Lynch's game? Well, Tom Lynch nearly won us the game, let's be honest. He was clunking them, he was getting frees for, and he was giving frees away. I thought the one against Dean was pretty soft. I didn't mind Tom Lynch's game at all. It's just his kicking. It was pretty blustery out there, but then it always is to the G. Don't like using that as an excuse. Yeah, he didn't kick very well. Neither did Fall, neither did Armstrong. So all 3 of those need to work on their kicking. So Luke Bruce, over to you, mate. Let's get into them and get a whole heap of goal kicking into them. Tom Lynch is just down on confidence. I think he didn't kick as well at goal last year either. And he was poor in the game against Melbourne, even though he marked it really well, but his kicking at goal wasn't great. He, for whatever reason, does tend to tug the ball to the right a little bit too often for my liking. But if he can just go back, get through his routine, get his confidence back, then, if that's the worst game he plays for us all year, then it's going to be a pretty good year from Tom Lynch. I thought he was pretty good. And if he ends up kicking 3, 4, 5 goals some weeks, then he'll end up having a massive impact on how we go this year. Speaking of Armstrong and Fall, it's still a development year for them. They are young. They're tall forwards. They're raw. Fall's really raw. He does remind me of Richo, especially his kicking action. He's going to be hit and miss. The shot at goal he had from, 60, 65 metres out where he made the distance easily, that's probably where you want him kicking from most of the time, around that 50-metre arc. I'd like to see him get up the field a little bit more. Couple of times he was unsure about whether to get in Lynch's way and sort of made a half-assed attempt at taking the mark, be it one-handed or not fully committing. If I was the coaching staff, I would just say to Jonty, just attack the ball. And if you run into Lynch, oh, well, so be it. He's not going to growl at you. Just attack the ball. You've got to fly for everything and at least try and bring it to ground. There's a couple of times where he thought he was going to get in the way. He didn't go for it, and Wiedering or Young were able to clean up. Armstrong, I thought Armstrong actually offered us a pretty good look at what he's going to be in the future last night. I thought the further the game went, Armstrong got better, and by the last quarter, he was having an impact. Sure, he missed an easy shot at goal. He's got to stop dropping the ball from such a high position, and if Bruce can get to work on that, that would be really good. But look, again, it's a confidence thing. As he gets more confident, he will get better. As for the rucks, well, we knew we were going to get smashed, let's be honest. Nank tries so hard around the ground. I thought he offered terrific contest. He won a contested ball. I think he was our second highest winner for contested ball again. But we knew he was going to lose the tap-outs, and we lost the tap-outs by some considerable margin. Having said that, we won the centre clearances. So if we're going to lose tap outs and still win our share of centre clearances, then it's not such a bad thing. Around the ground, he's still able to hassle and wrestle and all those sorts of things, and it didn't look as obvious that he was getting beaten. So not such a bad result, but he was against one of the weaker ruck combinations last night. It'll be interesting to see how that goes as the year carries on. He's up against Witsy this week. I reckon Witsy has got his number. He normally takes us to town. So let's see how he goes this week. But he should also get a little bit more support from Lafau. I think after watching Lafau in the reserves yesterday, Lafau will be straight back in. He looked really, really strong, competitive in the ruck and really strong up forward. So he'll come back in. A couple of others that performed well in reserves, and I'll do a review on the reserves. I thought Tom Brown was really good. He looked well and truly a level above. He played really well. Piker played really well as well. Alger copped a bit of a knock and ended up off the ground. Trainer at times looked really good. He tried to be that runner out of defence, but he does make poor decisions. And Caleb Smith in the third quarter, when we went to Caleb Smith to use his expertise and experience out of the back line, I can't remember him finding a teammate. He turned it over on will, just so slow making decisions. It looked a bit like Caleb Smith from a couple of years ago. So not great signs for him. And the Rezzies were the opposite to the seniors. They had a really good first half and a really awful second half. So let me know what you think. We've got a tough one this week against Gold Coast. If we give them a 4, 5, 6 goal start, we won't run them down. They move the ball extremely well. They do everything that has our warning flags up, I reckon. They move the ball so quickly. I can't see how we're going to be able to stop them, but you never know. It's at the G. They might be coming off the back of a 150-point win against West Coast and be a little more relaxed. Although I'm sure Dimmer will have them fired up. They were relaxed last year, and look what happened then. Let us know what you think. It wasn't all doom and gloom, but we should have won that game. We should be 1 win, 0 losses. Instead, it's the other way around, and we're going to have to scrap and fight for every win we get this year. Let me know what you think. Thanks, everybody. See you later.